Good morning, everyone, and good morning, and actually I should say good afternoon because it's noon, to our guest, Kathleen Wood. Greetings, Kathleen.
Good
And
afternoon, Joanna.
so good to have you here. And I wanted to be able to welcome you all to the next in our business success series. I have to say that in the course of the past year and a half, there have been so many times that all of us have looked for some input and some insight from those who are the experts in our fold and outside of our fold. And we have been very, very lucky and privileged to have some wonderful people who are involved with our chamber who have stepped up to help. In the case of Kathleen, I'm looking to the right of my screen here because she's sitting there, the talking head. Thank you. But when I think back over these past 18 months, I just look back with gratitude for just some people and things that have bubbled up to the surface during this very, very disruptive time. And one of them was Kathleen, who is a nationally recognized business consultant and someone who stepped up and said, basically, what can I do? And what we did way back, it seems like way back now, last spring, right, Kathleen,
Yeah.
was when everything closed down and we were all so shell-shocked. Kathleen's idea was to put together a workshop series that was called Business Workout. And it included a topic a week. It was very successful. We had some wonderful attendance and participation. And it included one on resiliency from a friend of ours who's a former Navy SEAL and helped put together a mindset program for our warriors, if you will. We had Steve, we had a couple of businesses talking about collaboration then. And it was unusual collaborations that I know Kathleen will get into, because one of them was Jeff Urso with Donati's, who basically said to friends that were up in his area and beyond it, wait, I do pizzas and I do delivery. How can I help? Wow. And then we had another one that was about utilizing the wonderful social media channels and ways to think outside the box. And that was the then manager of the wonderful Deer Path Inn. It was Matt Barba, in talking about what he did with social media and some collaborations, and then ending up with leadership. And that was Jim Vasilopoulos, who has a leadership seminar, well, actually podcast, and also he himself is a consultant, but people who very generously gave of their experience and time and energy, and Kathleen most definitely, because you helped formulate this and it was outstanding. And I think it was such a wonderful help to all of us. And since then, over these 18 months, we have just taken in everything we could and turned it around and sent it back out to all of you. And we realized when we did some strategic planning and looking towards the future back last fall, we found that our value to all of you was in helping you connect. It was the power of connection became our tagline. And it was something that we just realized was what we do, and realized that it was something that was of value to you all. So that is the theme that has brought us into this time period here. No, we're not all closed anymore the way we were back in the spring of last year when those first workshops were taking place and we were all figuring out how the heck can we continue to do what we do. But we're still in a very disruptive state. And what's important is that we can look back now and benefit and learn and look at these valuable experiences that we and others have had over the past 18 months, learn from them and move forward. So that's where we are today. And I'm so thrilled that Kathleen is here to be able to synthesize that for us and tell us the best practices, right? So thank you for that. So let me tell you a little bit about Kathleen as we move forward here. Kathleen Wood is the founder of Kathleen Wood Partners, an innovative growth strategy firm committed to small business success. Her firm specializes in transforming visions into reality through strategic growth solutions, business optimization models, competitive sales building initiatives, and leadership development. Kathleen Wood Partners focuses on developing acceleration strategies to transform small companies into national brands. And forgive me for reading this, but I don't want to miss anything. Kathleen has over 2 decades of executive leadership experience, including serving as the president and COO of Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. I love that. I haven't had lunch yet. Before, during, and after Hurricanes Katrina and Rita. In 2012, Kathleen also co-founded Suzy Swirl, an innovative frozen dessert company with her business partner and sister, Sue Tierno. The brand features cool combinations of frozen yogurts, sorbettos, gelatos, and so much more. Suzy Swirl is on a mission to inspire 1 million moments of frozen happiness, 1 cup at a time. Love that. Kathleen is a nationally recognized growth strategist, motivational speaker, author, and proven leader in building businesses and nonprofits. She also has been recognized for her work in numerous publications and podcasts, and in 2010 published her first book, The Best Shift of Your Life, The Restaurant Manager's Guide for Success Outside the Restaurant. Her newest book, Founderology, The Ultimate Employee Guide for Success with Any Boss in Any Workplace, will be available in the fall of 2021. So any day now, right, Kathleen?
Absolutely.
Looking for that.
Me too.
She has been a tremendous asset to the restaurants in our area in helping us all put together strategies to keep things moving forward as that particular industry has been challenged, and other industries as well. And I also wanted to add that Kathleen is a board member of the Lake Forest Lake Bluff Chamber of Commerce as of this year, and we could not be more thrilled. So without any further ado, what I would like to do is introduce our special guest, Kathleen Wood.
Well, Joanna, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. And I'm humbled and honored to be here today. And I just really want to give some great kudos back to you and the team as well. I really believe that myself, Suzy Swirl, we have been beneficiaries of the power of connection with you and the chamber, before the pandemic, and most assuredly during the pandemic. And we are so grateful for the connectivity that we have found with you and everything that you tirelessly do each and every day to connect our community, our customers, and our businesses all together through the power of the chamber. I always say,
thank you.
Yeah. I always say if there was an award given out to the best chamber in the United States, I know that, the Lake Forest, Lake Bluff Chamber would be right at the tippity top of it, because
thank you so much, Kathleen.
Seriously, the tireless efforts that you've all put in, it's been, I know not everybody knows everything you do, but we are all fortunate to have thriving, businesses in our community because of almost many efforts that you do each and every day. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure. And I am super excited to be here today. I have clients all across the United States, and, they're in various industries. They're in food service, they're in professional services, they're in technology, they're in healthcare. And one of the things that we've all been talking about, before the pandemic, but most assuredly has become to the top of our list in strategic discussions, has been this idea of how to think like a national brand, but to win local. And most importantly, how to do that in a way by harnessing the power of competitive collaboration. And competitive collaboration is something that I feel very strongly about. Sometimes they'll say, well, consultants, they don't really do anything. They just point and tell everybody what to do. And that could be true about many, not everyone. But in my circumstances, I am a consultant that truly does believe in the strategies that my clients are employing, because they are obviously achieving great success. But I'm also a consultant that lives and breathes what I say too, with my business partner and sister, Sue Tierno and Suzy Swirl. So part of what I'd like to do today is talk a little bit about what's happening, on the very big picture of our dynamic business world, and then bring that down to how we can all benefit and win at the local level with our businesses each and every day in the amazing marketplaces that we are so blessed to work in with Lake Forest and Lake Bluff communities. So, but before I do that, we do have one big thing going on today. And as much as I would like everyone to believe it is this webinar, but we actually have something very big happening today. And that is locally, that is our amazing Lake Forest Homecoming Weekend. So if you are not familiar, this is happening in town. I hope I'm not the last person to tell you this, but I want to give a big shout out to the Lake Forest High School, every single organization that supports the high school, the events that have been put on, the tailgating tonight over at Chiefs, the game itself, the amazing dance that is planned for all the students tomorrow, I think is just such a great celebration of homecoming as we all knew it before a pandemic, and homecoming, how we should all enjoy it while we're still kind of coming back through it. I also think that this weekend, I'm so grateful that the weather's great for everyone. We have many crew members at Donati's and Suzy's that are going to homecoming, and they are so excited to be able to do this after 2 years. So I hope that the parents, the students, the alumni, everyone just has a great weekend with that. And if you're not going to homecoming, there are events going on at the Gordon Center. And of course, there is the Lake Bluff Oktoberfest block party tomorrow. So plenty to do to enjoy this weather as we can still get out there and take in the sunshine and beauty of all the autumnal colors. So
Kathleen, if I can jump in just one sec, what I neglected to do before I step out of the way, take myself out of this, but to tell people that if they have questions or comments during your presentation, please go down to the bottom of your screen and just hit the Q&A or chat, but Q&A would probably be best. Just go ahead, hit it and drop in your question, and I'll be happy to share them with Kathleen at the tail end. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanna. All right, so let's talk what's happening in the world today. We know we have great things happening in Lake Forest, Lake Bluff this weekend. Let's talk a little bit about business then, as well as that. And as I start to think about business, and as I think about business, Lake Forest, Lake Bluff, and everywhere in the United States, I actually think there are two big behemoths that are competitive threats to local businesses. And I'm pretty sure everyone here is very familiar with them. The first one is our good friends at Amazon, the company that revolutionized the concept of frictionless customer service, that ability to make it super easy to order, make it on demand anytime you want it, and make it really convenient for you to get whatever product you're looking for via Amazon. And I happen to love Amazon because of this idea of frictionless. They made it so easy for us to order. That's why just going through June 30th of this year, Amazon has already put $67 billion worth of sales on the books just between January 1st and June 30th of this year. Frictionless customer service. It is a significant competitive threat to local because it makes it so easy for people just to get in their phone and order what they need versus get in the car and driving to one of our businesses. So they are a true competitive threat locally, right? The second competitive threat is the other behemoth, which is Google. And if you're not familiar with GTS, it stands for, Google that stuff, or other words that people might interject. But Google is another company that has made it so easy for us to find things on demand, super convenient. So when you start to think about this, you have to ask yourself, hey, as a local business, how am I supposed to compete with Amazon and Google? Well, I'll never have the budget, I'll never have the size, I'll never have the scale. And somebody will say, well, hey, you should put a store on Amazon. Okay, well, even when you put that store on Amazon, you're still competing with thousands of businesses. Well, maybe I should work on my Google Analytics and get my name higher in the search. I think that's a great idea. But for us to, as local businesses, to compete with Amazon and Google on any type of scale is not really going to happen anytime in the near future, right? But the reality of it is, as business owners, we can't ignore that Amazon and Google exist, because the power of Amazon and Google is really something that's quite spectacular. And I just want to show one quick, when people say, hey, Kathleen, I don't know if we should be online or not. I just want to show one quick slide if you have that question in your mind. No, maybe because you can't compete with Amazon head-to-head or Google head-to-head, but maybe you want to make a frictionless online ordering opportunity for your customer. Why would you think to do that in today's world? It's because of this diagram. This diagram is showing us the percentage of retail sales that are happening in the United States through e-commerce. If you look at 2013, we were at 5% retail sales. When you look at 2024, almost 20% of all retail sales are going to come from e-commerce. Now you could say 20%, that's kind of insignificant to my business, except for one very important data point. If you look directly at 2021, we're at about 15% of e-commerce sales online. Just between January and June 30th of this year, we transacted over $438 billion in sales online in the United States. 438 billion, and 67 billion of that came from our good friends at Amazon. So to be honest with you, this is not going to slow down, but does it mean that we're going to be left behind? My answer is unequivocally no. We have so many opportunities locally, and that's what I'm excited to talk about today. If you know that your biggest competitor is Amazon and the other one's Google, and you know that your customer base is migrating to online, then as a local business owner, how do you compete? And I actually think that we have some amazing competitive opportunities. And let me just show you this. Here's where I think our competitive opportunities to kind of not eliminate, but push Google out of the way, push Amazon out of the way. And it's by doing something that Joanna speaks so eloquently of so many times, is to love local, act local, and win local. And as local businesses, we have three things that Google and Amazon do not have. The first thing we have are personal interactions. We actually have humans working with us. You know, think about this. When's the last time you called Amazon to talk to a person? I'm almost positive that this is not happening. When's the last time you called Google to talk to a person? There is no way, unless you're going to wait hours and hours on the phone to talk to someone at the help desk, that you're talking to anyone at Google anytime soon. We, as local business owners and operators, we have people working with us. We have people that can talk to people. We have people that can learn our customers' names. What an amazing competitive differential. Add to that, that we also have the ability to do community connections. When you think about Lake Forest High School tonight and you go out to the game and you see all those sponsorship ads around the field or in the brochure or on the cups, you know, you're not going to see Amazon and Google there. You're going to see local businesses that love Lake Forest High School, that love the students, love the school, love what the school's doing in our community. Google and Amazon, they don't have the wherewithal to do that. And we're seeing that time and time again. So we as local business owners and operators have this powerful platform for community connections. And then the third thing that we have that Google and Amazon, even with all the AI, artificial intelligence in the world, will never have this. And we have accessibility. We have the ability to be on a webinar like this today. We have the ability to see each other down at the Oktoberfest block party tomorrow night. We have the ability to be able to talk to other local business owners in our area, to talk about what's going on, to get together and collaborate on what's happening in the community. How can we partner together? How can we work together? We have accessibility to schools, associations, organizations, you know, a tremendous amount of different affiliations. Those are three key points that all local businesses have that outposition them from Google and Amazon. And to me, this is one of the most powerful things for all of us as local business leaders and owners, is to love local, act local, and win local. And when we bring these three powerful opportunities together, we get what I call with my clients, and what I really believe in, is this idea of competitive collaboration. Working with others in your community that may be a direct competitor, an indirect competitor, or may not even be a competitor, but just a great collaborator, but working with a competitive, somebody in our community to collaborate. And I believe so strongly in this. I believe in this for Lake Forest and Lake Bluff, but I also believe this for all my clients that are everywhere else in the United States. You know, as a local business owner, the headwinds that we are facing on a daily basis with a labor shortage, a supply chain shortage, a ever dynamic changing COVID environment, an ever changing regulatory environment, you know, one thing after another, that if you're trying to do this on your own, it is a struggle and it is challenging and it is difficult. but it can be made more effective, more efficient, and I believe more profitable by really looking at the idea of becoming collaborators with those in your community that are direct and indirect competitors. Are we all trying to get that local dollar? Yes, of course we are, which is why I think we should all be working together to collaborate on that, because keeping the local dollars local keeps it off of Amazon, keeps it off of going online, keeps it off of going into the VAT, the vault of $458 billion of retail sales. Unless those retail sales are coming online off of our community, that's awesome. Anywhere else, and they're leaking out of our community, we want to bring them back together. And I can't think of a more important time to do this than right now in our communities. You know, being on the chamber is a true honor, and it also provides tremendous insights into things that are happening into our community that our village and city leaders do such a great job communicating it out there. But one of the really key data points lately is that we've had over 1,000 families move into our local communities. Well, how are they finding out about the great Lake Forest bookstore? You know, how are they finding out about, you know, the brewery in Lake Bluff? How are they finding all these things out? And the reality is the chamber's doing an awesome job with their welcome kit, but we also have an incredible opportunity for personal interactions, community connections, and being accessible to welcoming those families as well. And also reintroducing some of the new products and service we have to our existing customer base. So in my mind, the strategy I speak the most about most assuredly in the last 18 months is about competitive collaboration. Now, I don't just speak about it, I also do live it. So I would like to share with you how competitive collaboration comes to reality on a local level. And it is best illustrated in the Suzy Swirl Donati's world. And if you are not familiar with this, you know, that's my sister Sue on the right, there's Jeff, and then there's myself. And we're all at celebrating our new locations in Lake Forest at 950 Northwestern Avenue, where we now have a Donati's, a Jefe's Tacos, and a Suzy Swirl all operating under one roof. And you could ask yourself, how did this come to be? And Joanna kind of hit on it. You know, I really believe that during COVID, we were so fortunate to be able to connect with Jeff, literally somebody who had been across the street from us for 7 years, but to connect with Jeff on a profound way, with the sole purpose of trying to support our communities, with the sole purpose of trying to support Jeff's initiative that no one should go hungry. And we were right there with him saying, we agree, we'll pull out all the stops. And then the gratitude we had for Jeff when we were pivoting our business model, and he very generously delivered Suzy Swirl to Lake Bluff and Lake Forest as we were trying to pivot our model. And the more the time that we spent working with Jeff and the more time Jeff spent working with us, we started to realize that, you know, our world was changing, you know, and the world I'm talking about was the restaurant industry was changing. And we started to realize that we did have a shared purpose and we did have shared values. And potentially there was a way for us to share through competitive collaboration to work together with each other. And in that process, we realized, you know, you live in competitive collaboration, you live with the idea that 1 + 1 is the ultimate, it equals 3, more synergy, right? The second thing is we knew we were competing for the same food dollar, but we didn't have the same product. So there was complementary competition here. So that led us to collaborate more for not how do we try to take the dollar out of your hand and the dollar out of my hand, but how do we work together to try to create greater local market share? And that's what prompted our move from across the street from 703 Rockland Road to 207 Rockland Road, and to move in and convert the Donati's dining room into a Suzy Swirl. So today, our customers are the beneficiaries of this too, because they get to come in now and they get to have suds, slices, and swirls all at one time. And when they're down in Lake Forest, you know, now they can have suds, slices, swirls, and tacos all at one time. So we've been thrilled to be able to do this. We've been thrilled to be able to do this with Jeff and his amazing team. And I think when you think about competitive collaboration, is it all smooth? Does it all go perfectly? No, it's about collaboration. So there's some give and there's some take. And that's part of learning, you know, as my sister Sue would say, that's trying teach everyone how to learn how to live and work under one roof. There's always some give and take as you're learning and growing, but the benefits of it are amazing. When we look at the benefits of it, we now in this very tight labor market can leverage our labor. We're collaborating on our marketing, both our digital and traditional. We've been able to enhance our services for catering and delivery. Obviously space utilization has been huge. If you've not visited us on, Waukegan Road, please come and do that. Or even on Western Avenue, please come and do it, because you'll see great space utilization. But I think the other biggest benefit that we've heard, and we've heard it loud and clear from all of our customers, is that they're so thrilled. New customers are thrilled to be able to come and see everything in one stop. The customers that Suzy has are now thrilled that they don't have to cross the street to come to Donati's, and Donati's customers are thrilled not to have to make the left-hand turn to get across the street to Suzy's. So we're hearing that, you've made it easier for us. You've made it easier for our kids. You've made it easier for us to have a one-stop shop. Well, if you go back to Amazon and Google, what did they try to do? Make it easy, make it convenient, let it, get it on demand. Don't put extra steps in it. This has been the feedback we've received from our customers has been amazing. And Suzy's customers have been introduced to Donati's, and Donati's customers have been introduced to Suzy. So all boats have risen in this process, which is fantastic. But I think the other big benefit is it's allowed us to pool our resources for greater community connectivity. We're able now to work with Jeff and his team on larger community programs, larger community fundraising programs. We're doing a fundraiser on September 20th for the Lake Forest High School, where now everyone will come in and they'll receive 25% return on all sales from both Suzy's and Donati's. So now we're able to give back in meaningful ways that we were always doing, but now it's more powerful because we're doing it together. And then obviously the brand strength speaks for itself. Our collective ability to market, still stay unique to ourselves, but still market as a collective has been powerful. Now, I'm not saying that this is the model, so we've done everything perfect and we're completely right. We're still learning and we're growing, which is all part of the process. And we're going to continue to learn and we're continue to grow, because we're all committed to growing job opportunities for the local high school and young people in our area, growing more to be able to give back to our community, and growing more in strengthening our brand so that it could withstand any kind of headwinds that are coming into our businesses. But it's not limited to just how 3 food companies come together. I believe in my consulting practice, I see competitive collaboration in other industries. And let me share a few of those with you. If you think about your business today, a couple of questions you can be asking yourself is, hey, if I'm a florist, who could I competitively collaborate with? Wedding planners, meeting planners, real estate agents. With all these folks moving into Lake Forest and Lake Bluff, how about sending out a beautiful, including the welcome kit from the Chamber of Commerce, sending out a beautiful floral bouquet from the local florist? Introduce the florist to the new families immediately, right? What about looking at service providers like accountants? Accountants who could be offering services to workspace providers. You're renting out that workspace to a business owner. Potentially, is there an opportunity to do some cross promotion with an accounting firm or with other retailers in the area that support a workspace provider, or even an accountant who has so many businesses that they're serving, they can see that their businesses need promotional help. Can the accountant create a competitive collaboration with a local marketing promotions company so that they could offer referral services from the local community to support local businesses? One of the things that I've come to really appreciate about Lake Bluff and Lake Forest is in Lake Bluff, we love our dogs. There's no doubt about it. And in Lake Forest, we love dogs and cars. And so when I started to think about other competitive collaborative models locally, think about the great car services we have out there. What's their ability to competitively collaborate with the local gas stations, car repair stations? You'd think sports teams, what's that about? Well, it's about transportation. It's about, we're experiencing a bus crisis, a bus driver crisis shortage right now. We're experiencing transportation challenges right now. Here's an amazing way to get into that. And then also car shows. I know we have one coming up in Lake Bluff on October 9th. We have another one coming up in Lake Forest on October 10th. another way to competitively collaborate. We're not trying to take away from each other. We're trying to gain together. And that to me is the spirit of collaborative, of competitive collaboration. Now, you could be asking yourself, hey, Kathleen, this is all well and good, but my business is different than every business that you've presented. And I'm totally get that. So let me present 5 power moves that you could make right now to really position your business. So let's take a look at number 1. One of the things that I think we all have the opportunity to do, because we've all been running and gunning since March of 2020, is to take this breath right now and to take a moment and go back and really look at your definition of why me. What makes me or my business unique, different, or special? Why me? And if and get clarity on that. Because when you know why you're unique, different, and special, you can communicate that. You can communicate that to customers, communities, and also to potential competitive collaborators. So that's number 1. A second power move is to assess your customer experience. I can't tell you, I could do hours about why I believe Amazon's frictionless customer service is so powerful. But the real reality of it is we also have the opportunity to look at our customer service experience. When we look at it, we want to look at it as I work with my customers and clients. I want to look at it from what's their experience when they're in person with me and what's their experience when it's digital. And how am I connecting it back to it all being local? Am I making it easy? Am I making it, if I know that, it's easier for mothers, just like Chick-fil-A does. If it's easier for mothers with children to have special parking, let me get the parking out there. If it's better to run curbside out there, let me do that. That goes for food service, retail. If it's for products, if it's for services, how do I make sure that my digital experience meets their needs by still making it easy and accessible? So assess your customer experience for both in-person and digital. Now, the third thing is to review your digital footprint. I can't tell you how many times I have conversations with potential clients where we go on and we look at their website and we're looking at posts from 2018. We're looking at information that is completely obscure and doesn't matter anymore. And when I'll ask them about that, they'll say, what's wrong with you, Kathleen? Don't you realize we've been busy? I'm like, I totally realize you've been busy. But when we're also moving $438 billion of business through our phones, having a up-to-date digital footprint with your logos, your story of why, and great products and services listed, I think is a real key, especially because that part of business is not slowing down. So do a nice review. We're going into Q4 where everyone's going to be gearing up for the holidays. They've already been told that there's shortages coming for toys and turkeys and everything else. So, people are going to be on the look. Let them look for you digitally and let them look for you locally. And most assuredly, have your information out there in a way that makes it easy for them to find you and know why you are the best choice for them. And then the fourth one is to amplify. Amplify your local story. Amplify the stories about your customers, the events you're at, the organizations you support, your community connectivity. Because the more that you amplify both your story and your presence in these constituencies of groups, the more the existing people in our community remember you, and the more the new members of our community get to learn about you. This is the time to amplify. There's never been a greater time in history than right now to amplify your message to everyone that you know and to introduce yourself to the 1,000 new families that have come into our community. And that's why the final piece of amplification is number 5. Make it personal. Let people know why you started your business. Let people know why your business is special. Give your recommendations of, if I'm a real estate agent, what are my recommendations of favorite restaurants, dry cleaners, car repair shops in the area? Hopefully you're recommending all the ones that are chamber members. But in addition to that, what are your recommendations? Share with them your world. Why do you love Lake Forest and Lake Bluff? What's special about it to you? Because what we might sometimes think is every day, for someone new to a community, knowing about the amazing beach in Lake Bluff and the amazing beach in Lake Forest, knowing about all these amazing retail shops and the amazing amount of great service providers we have in our community. That's the kind of thing that Amazon and Google will only be able to do with AI, but we can do in person and in our community each and every day. So as I kind of bring this home, the question that sometimes I'm asked is, man, Kathleen, which one of these should I start with? Or, this is great, but I truly have to get ready for, Q4 is just 2 weeks away and we're going to be right into the holidays. The weather's going to get colder. How do I get ready? And I'm always, in my business of growth strategy, I am a very big believer in proactive planning, in planning to be successful, in planning to, when you have a great plan, you can then manage exceptions. When you don't have a plan, everything's the exception. So just like we would look at it from a couple of different ways, here's a few things I would tell you right now that you could look at. First is, you may not know this, but there are 31 satellites that create the global GPS network. 31 satellites that run all the GPS in the whole wide world. I'd like you to take a look at how do you power up your local network? If you were to take a look at these 6 categories, you'll see that there's 5 boxes underneath each category. What does your local GPS network? How do people find you? And take a moment and just, look at this. It's a 1-page, very simple grid, right? Put 5 people that you could network with that you know personally, 5 people that you could network with professionally, 5 businesses that you may be able to competitively collaborate with, 5 associations or organizations that you either want to know, or want to connect on a deeper level with, 5 affiliations that you may know, or people that know somebody who knows somebody that could get you into that, and then leave another category for other. But one of the things is, if we're going to win local, we also have to power up our network locally too. And so if there's 31 satellites that rule our GPS, let's find 30 different and unique, resources to put in each one of these power grids. So your grid is strong. But I always tell my client is you can only use 1 name per box. If you only have 15 names on that, your grid's running at half its capacity. Spend the time and the effort to fill up your grid, because I think people are shocked by how many people they know, but because we get so busy in our business, we don't think about it. But when we really take a few minutes to fill the grid out, we are astounded by how powerful a network we have, and sometimes how underutilized that network is for us. So that's one thing. The second thing is, if you're struggling to fill that network, I want to offer you these 10 different places to go to fill your network out. Schools, groups, organizations, associations, sports teams, music, arts, online communities, the chamber, religious organizations. We have so much in Lake Forest and Lake Bluff that, this hopefully this small circle of influence will help you power up your grid. And then the third thing I would say is start to think about Q4 to be in it to win it. A few things for you to think about is, right now, when you fill that power grid out, who can you competitively collaborate with right now to increase your ability for your holiday sales, your catering sales, your online sales, your products and services? Who can you competitively collaborate with right now locally? Get the message out, right? Where can you bring your products and services to showcase or market them? I have to tell you, I love Suzy at Floatstone in downtown Lake Bluff. Here she has Floatstone, which is an amazing experience. If you've never tried it, absolutely give it a shot. But I think the other part about it is I love how she is marketing other products and services within her 4 walls. It is an amazing experience to go in there, because not only you're getting the experience of the float, but you're also getting introduced to all these great jewelry and different, oils and clothes and all sorts of just great things that make it so enjoyable to go there. But for Suzy's, it's a great showcase of other products and services that are here locally. So think about this. Where can you bring your products or services to market them or showcase them with others in our marketplace? I think the other thing you might want to think about is, there were 5 power moves there. Which one of those can you do next week? Pick one. Just start. It's amazing that the minute you start with one power move, how fast the other 5 go. Pick one, get it going, and change the trajectory of your Q4 by shifting the power of your focus to a successful Q4. And then finally, I can't say this enough. Continue to fill and leverage your local network. That's why the grid's there. That's why the resources are there. We are so fortunate to be in a community that has so many resources, whether it be the chamber, the college, the associations, the organizations, the schools. We are fortunate. I get being a business owner and trying to find the time to get out there and meet with everybody, but we also have so many events where we can leverage those to meet and greet and network and power up our network to win. What I want to conclude with is this. I truly do believe that competitive collaboration, most assuredly collaboration, is going to be part of the currency of success as we all move forward from where we are to where our next normal will be with COVID. As a business owner myself, it is tough sledding when you're by yourself, but as they've always said, when we work together, we go further, faster, stronger, and better. And that is my intense wish and hope for all of you, is that you can be in it to win it, but let's be in it to win it together. So we build a stronger, faster, vibrant community of successful businesses that serve, very happy customers and support the amazing communities that we're all fortunate to be a part of. Thank you so much for your time today. And Joanna, if there's any questions, I'd be very happy to answer them.
Kathleen, not a single question. You covered it all absolutely beautifully. And once again, I get totally jazzed listening to you because you're so inspiring. And everything that you stated is so attainable. And I think that's what's wonderful about it. So thank you so much for this. I would urge everyone to please share this. I have recorded it, and with Kathleen's permission, and it is something that we're making available since we couldn't have an in-person event for all of our guests to be able to come. And I just say, please do share this. You've got a couple of comments coming in now. Awesome. This is so great. Any rate, truly, Kathleen, thank you so much for this.
Thank you. And look, seriously, if anyone would like to talk further about this, this is my contact information. Feel free to reach out. Always happy to share a cup of Suzy Swirl and talk business and talk how we can grow, not only our businesses, but our communities for the better. So please always feel free to reach out.
Kathleen, and maybe what we should do is have a Suzy Swirl gathering of people who want to chat.
Absolutely.
Just to come there and right. So absolutely. I think we'll do that. If you don't mind dropping into the last slide once more, what I'm going to suggest to people is to please get back in touch with us at info@lflbchamber.com if you have any other topics that you want to cover too. Because what we might do is put together some little focus groups and just be able to talk over some best practices. Kathleen, we don't want to keep taking your time, but oh my gosh, you're just such a spark plug. I just love this.
Thank you very
so
much.
Please do share. And again, we'll have the recording available, and we want you to spread it around. And also send us that topic for a presentation at that email address. Kathleen, this is absolutely wonderful. 45 minutes on the nose. We're going to let everybody go back to their day inspired and ready to move on, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, everyone. Take care, Kathleen.
Thank you.